Okay, guys, let's go ahead and look at this practice online midterm. And you're going to see a paper I'm working off of as well as my screen. Okay, so the real midterm is going to have something very much like this. Practice start here, blah, 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 blah. You know what? I'm going to change my view on this. I'm sorry, guys. Because I want to get my student view so you see what I see, yada yada. It's being slow. So the real midterm is going to be on Weber State's Canvas page, and it will have it'll have 7 sections. I don't know if they're in the same order, but they'll be labeled like that. Start here. I will not grade it unless you've done the starting here kind of thing. There's 5 questions. Basically, this is going to go through saying, hey, I understand this is test. I'm not going to cheat, blah, 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 blah. Sign your name, things like that. And the handbook code book says if you do cheat, you're going to fail, and yada, 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 that kind of thing. So you'll start there. And then you'll move on. Let's look at the first section. So every one of those sections, including the start here, must be done. I'm not allowed to grade it unless those are answered. And then take it honestly, guys. Okay, so I understand about I agree to until you type your answer. And every one of them will have that same thing. That's to put you on notice that, hey, if I observe cheating going along, or I see things like photo math being used or that kind of stuff, and they're not that hard to recognize when you've done things like that. We'll do things. Okay. Question 2. A swimming pool in the neighbor's backyard has a leak. It holds 1,035 gallons of water. You know, there's one actually exactly like this on practice midterm 1. The amount of water in the pool, I have teed in it as the table below. The table can be modeled this equation. Identify the slope of that line. The slope is the negative 45. The meaning of that slope is the water is draining 45 gallons per hour. Okay. Interpret the meaning of slope. That's what that is. The answer should look like the slope of the line is negative 45. The slope means that 45 gallons per hour being drained out. Question number 3. A swimming pool in the neighbor's backyard. Is this the same question? It's the same heading, same table, right? Identify the y-intercept. The y-intercept is this 1,035. I'm just looking at this as y equals mx plus b, right? So that's the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is 1,035. Oh, as an ordered pair. So the y-intercept is not 1,035. It's 0, 1,035. And the y-intercept means that there was 1,035 gallons in the pool before it started to drain. Okay, so here's the same thing, question 4, and it's the same practical domain. Okay, now here's where we're going to do some stuff. Now, I got to think about this in context. The time, the input is time, and now the time starts at 0, and it goes until the pool is empty. Well, how many hours is that going to be? Well, if I set a 0 equal to the amount of pool, so 0 equals 1,035 minus 45t, and then I solve that, I'd get negative 1,035 equals negative 45t. After I subtract 135 from each side, divide by negative 45, divided by negative 45, and I get t equals something like that. 1,035 divided by a negative 45, and I get 23. So that tells me at 23 hours, the pool is going to be empty. The range is the amount of as the outputs, which is the amount of water in the pool. Well, the smallest amount of water in the pool can be 0, and the biggest is 1035. It's really tempting to put these backwards, go like 1035 to 0, because you start the pool being full at 1035 and it goes to 0. But I can't do that. Okay, so then number 5. Here's the equation. The equation in each graph. So there's the answer. The practical domain is 0 to 23. The practical range is 0 to 1035. Okay? And this is because the pool will be empty in 23 hours, and it starts with 1035 gallons and ends up with 0 gallons, but this is small to big. Remember, these intervals always have to be small to big. Okay, question 5. The equation of the graph, which equation models m is less than 0? So that's a slope less than 0. It's a negative slope. Negative slopes go down, or they're decreasing to the right. B is less than 0. So B is less than 0 implies that the y-intercept is less than 0. So I want something where the y-intercept is less than 0 and the slope is negative. And this fits in right there. Okay? Which equation represents? I don't see anything to choose there. Okay, but that would be my choice. Okay. Let's take a look at the next section. More linear equations. Take the quiz. And you know, each one of these quizzes are worth, you get 30 minutes, right? You don't need 30 minutes. I mean, what do we take on that? Like 5 or 6 or something like that? I don't know. Yeah, I agree. It's same agreement statement, right? Okay. The average cost of a candy bar has increased at a constant rate since the year 1970. Average cost of a candy bar since 1970 is shown in the table below, where time is the independent variable, cost is a dependent variable. So here's my input, there's my output. Assuming the average cost of a candy bar increases at a constant rate, write a linear equation that models the data. Okay, so on this, guys, really, you're looking at, you got to find the slope and y-intercept. So I'm just going to let 1970 be my, well, year since 1970. It looks like I start with 10 and 30, right? Hold on, I need to go back where I was. Okay, so 10 and 30. 10 and 30 cents. And then 15 and 40. So it looks like 5 years. So that would be my change in X. It's increasing by 10 cents. So 10 cents every 5 years, that means it's going 2 cents for every 1 year. There's my slope. Right? 2 cents a year. So the equation of my line, my M is 0.02. My M is 0.02. And so if I go 10 years, this is year since 1970, that's 10 years, I need to go back to where the years is 0. So if I go back 10 cents a year, 2 cents times 10 years, that's 20 cents. So if I subtract 20 cents from there, it's going to be 10 cents for the cost. So 0, it's going to be 10 cents. So then my equation is going to be my cost is equal to 10 cents plus 0.02 cents times the number of years since 1970. I could go, y equals 0.10 plus 0.02x. That's fine too. Okay. It doesn't say what variables I have to use, but that would model that. Okay. So first I had to figure out the slope, then use the slope to go backwards to figure out the cost at year 0 or 1970. Okay. So let's look at this one. The table of values for a function is given below. Is the function linear? Well, all I need to do with linear is 4, 5, 6, 7. These are all going up by 1. What are these going up by? 20.4 to 22.1. So I'm just going to I'm going to start down here at 25.5. 25.5 minus 23.8, that's 17 tenths or 1.7. 23.8 minus, actually, I'm just minus the 22.1. That's the same thing. 22.1 minus 20.4. So all of these here are going up by 1.7, and these are going 1.1. So is the function linear? Yes. B, explain my reasoning in 1 or 2 sentences. My reasoning would be that the change in x is constant, going up by 1 with every step, and the change in f of x is going up by 1.7. Therefore, the rise over the run is increasing at a constant rate. Something like that. Or I could just say m equals 1.7 for every single step. Okay, that works. Given the linear equation ax plus 6y equals b, find the x-intercept of the equation. Ooh, this is a good thing. So now I'm gonna work this out. So this is my scratch paper. Ax plus 6y equals b. Ax plus 6y equals b. Now the x-intercept of my equation, the x-intercept, let me think, that's where it's hitting the x-axis. That's where the y equals 0. So I'll let y equal 0. Ax plus 6 times 0 equals b. Well, that means this is gone, and I have to solve for x. So I'm going to divide by a. On each side, divide by a. I get x equals b over a. So my x-intercept is b over a. 0 is the x-intercept. Okay? Because that's a period. Okay. B. Find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where x equals 0. So I'll go a times 0 plus 6y equals b. That's gone, really. And so if I divide by 6 on each side, I get y equals b over 6. So b over 6, b over 6, b over 6. Oh, that's the y value. So my y-intercept, 0, b over 6, that is the y-intercept. I guess I didn't have to tell what's the y-intercept and x-intercept if I labeled it a and b. 5. Write the equation of a horizontal line. Horizontal lines are just like y equals a number, so y equals 8. Okay. The data can be modeled by a linear equation in the form y equals mx plus b. Use the table to find m. Use the table to find b. Write the equation in the model there. Your answer should look like m equals and b equals. So I'm just going to copy that. I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier. Copy that and go. I don't know. You know what? M equals, I don't know, but B I saw. If I look up here, B is the y-intercept, and there it is, 0, 6. 6. M is, I'm just going to use these 2 points right here. I'll go 9/2 minus 6. 9/2 minus 6, that gives me that, -3/2, and I'm going to divide that by 2 minus 0, so which is just 2. And I get my slope is -3/4. -3/4. Perfect. Write the equation of a line. Oh, so C, just y equals -3/4 x plus 6. There it is. Okay, cool. That's it. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, I'm going to leave. Yes, I want to leave. Give me back. You guys, of course, wouldn't just leave. You'd save it and move on and all that jazz. Okay, now remember, once you've saved it, you're done and you're done. Linear inequalities in function notation, part 3, and it requires a file upload. Okay, be prepared to upload a file, and it needs to be a form of file that I can read. So those of you using iPhones and doing this .ihack thing, I can't read those. It will be marked wrong. Okay, so learn to upload a JPEG or a PDF from your phone. That you can do in the settings. If you're not sure, Google how to change my default from iHack to JPEG or PDF or whatever you want. Okay? Or use your Chromebook. That takes JPEGs, I think, by default. Here's the agreeing statement. Question 2. A linear equality graph. Write the interval as an inequality. So as an inequality, I see a less than or equal to, since it's there. So x is, so I can go x is, now how do I do less than or equal to? Well, you've got a few options. I can insert a math equation. I could do that. And there I have all my neat little figures there. Or, if you go, x is less than or equal to, I'll understand. Or even type it in words. Okay. So, but I'm going to use this cool little equation editor. X is, and then less than or equal to, let me find it up here. Relationships. Less than or equal to, what was it? 1. X is less than or equal to 1. I'll insert that. Or I could do union. I don't care. X is, and I'll use that little equation editor, greater than or equal to. Greater than or equal to, oh, it's not greater than or equal to, though. It's just greater than, because it's a hollow dot. X is greater than 4. Okay? So there's part A. B, write it in interval notation. So this is negative infinity. Now you can enter a symbol, or you could do a math equation, or you know what? I would even take infinity. Negative infinity to 1. Now this is going to have a bracket, which is up here above your enter button. Union, parenthesis, 4 to infinity. I would take that, or use a symbol, use there. Okay, which of the following inequalities have the same solution as this one? Whoa. So. I need to solve this. So A is less than negative 3x minus 7 is less than or equal to 10. And if I solve that, I'm going to add 7 on each side. And I get negative 3x is in between 17 and a plus 7. And then I'll divide by negative 3. Now, what happens when I'm dividing by negative 3 is my signs flip. So a plus 7 over 3. And this flips negative 17 thirds. Now, I can't leave it like that. So, because this is now backwards. So negative 17 thirds is at the bottom. And it's less than. Notice that it's pointing here. It's pointing there. So I switch my signs again. And this is a plus 7 over 3. Okay, so I'm looking for something that has negative 17 thirds to a plus 7 over 3. Now, B is definitely there because it's the solution. So B and maybe this. Now, check this out. If I was to look at this A, if I add 4 over here, that's going to give me 17, and then I divide by negative 3. So let's talk about this one. Negative 3x minus 4 is greater. Negative 3 is greater than 13, and it's, of course, less than the a plus 3. If I add 4 to each of these, I get a plus 7 is greater than negative 3x is greater than or equal to 17. Okay. Hold on. I just need to see what this is seeing for a moment. Sorry. I'm going to go up so I can see higher. Okay, and then if I, so far it looks a lot like this, right? Then if I divide by negative 3, negative 3, negative 3, I get x, and it's going to flip, negative 17 thirds, and that'll flip a plus 7 over negative 3. But is this, oh, wait. See how this started with greater thans, and now it's flipping to a less than there? Oh, but wait, isn't that what I want? No, check this out. Because see, a plus 7 over negative 3 is less than x. Here I have a plus 7 over 3. X is less than that. So here, these signs are switched, aren't they? These are switched. They have the same numbers, but they're in different places. So a is not there. And look at this. I can see this pretty quickly. If I subtract 14 from negative 20, I get negative 34. And then if I divide, oh, wait a second though, that will reduce. So I got to work that one out. Well, crap. Negative 2a is less than 6x plus 14 is less than or equal to negative 20. So if I subtract 14 from everywhere, I get 6x, and that's in between negative 34 and negative 2a minus 14. And if I divide by 6, divide by 6, divide by 6, none of my signs switched here. Negative 34 over 6 is negative 17 thirds. But actually, as soon as I see that, maybe some of you saw this faster. The 17 third, oh, it is. It's less than 17 thirds up there. Okay, now notice this, 2, 14, and 6. I can factor a 2 out of each of these. And I get negative a minus 7. And the 2 would reduce that, and I would get a 3. Negative a minus 7 over 3. Well, my problem is that's a negative a. And I have a positive a. So B is my only thing. B. Question 4. This is a file upload question. So this is one where you are going to have to work it out and upload a file. So it says if fx equals a times x plus 2 and f of 1 equals 8, find the value of a. So f of 1 equals 8. That tells me the input is 1. So a times 1 plus 2, and it tells me that equals 8. Find the value of a. So the first thing is there's f of 1, and there's x equals 1, right? Yeah. Okay, so solve this. Subtract 2 from each side. 8 minus 2 is 6 equals 1 times a equals 6. And I would just upload that. Okay, so that'd be it. Okay. So let's go back. Let's look at the next section. Part 3. Okay, and if you're feeling winded around this time, then you might want to just take a look at something else for a few minutes and come back, right? You don't have to take it all in one shot. Practice midterm, 4 systems of linear equations. Okay, and there's the agreeing statement. Okay, and this says you're going to have to file upload. Solution to the equations is 2, negative 1. Find the values of h and k. So I've got h times x plus y equals 5. And I know that the solution to the equation is 2, negative 1. So I'm going to put that in for x and y and see what happens. So if I put this in for x, I get 2h, I just switched these around, right? h2, 2h, right? Plus y, that's a negative 1, equals 5. Hey, if I solve that, plus a negative 1, that's a minus 1. So if I add 1 to each side, that will cancel, and I get 2h equals 6. So h, I can see, is 3. Okay? And over here, I get 2x plus 4y equals k. So if I put that solution into here, 2 times 2 plus 4 times negative 1 equals h. I get 4, and 4 times the negative 1 is negative 4 equals h. 4 minus 4 is 0 equals h. There it is. And I would upload that. Take a picture and upload it. Okay. Consider this system. What value would have m infinitely many solutions? Hey, we did things like this in class, right? Where infinitely many, that tells us that those equations will cancel each other out completely. Now, I look at this and I see 4 and negative 8, 3 and 1 and negative 2. These are both multiplied by negative 2, right? 4 times negative 2 makes negative 8. 1 times negative 2 makes negative 2. 3 times negative 2 makes negative 6. So I would just say m equals negative 6 because the second equation is negative 2 times the first. So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And so then those equations would eliminate each other, and I'd end up getting 0 equals 0. Okay, question 4. Consider the following is system of equations. 3x minus 2y equals 6, x plus hy equals 4. And this says, show a first step you would use if you were to solve this using elimination. So 3x minus 2y equals 6. And I have to go 8x plus hy equals 4. Now, if I was going to eliminate this, I don't know what to do with h, but I know if I multiplied this by negative 3, I would end up getting negative 3x minus 3hy equals negative 12, and I would do that, and I would get that. Okay, so I multiply this by negative 3. That's the equation I get. There's my first step. Okay, so I don't have to do more than that. I'd take a picture of that, and I'd upload it. Okay, another file upload equation. You're on a road trip with your friends and your car breaks. You call one tow company, pay a flat fee of $75 plus $2 a mile. Sounds expensive, so you call a second one. They charge a flat fee of $55 plus $3 a mile. So I can model like that. Solve the system of equations. Hey, this is set up really, really nice for substitution because I can just take this equation, the 2x plus 75, and set it equal to this equation, the 3x plus 55, and solve it, right? So I'm going to subtract 55 from each side, and I'll subtract 2x from each side. 75 minus 55 is 20 equals x. Now that's not done because I have to figure out what the cost is too. So cost is 2x, so 2 times 20 plus 75. 2 times 20 plus 75, that's 40 plus 75, that's 115. So the solution to my equation is that. Okay, what does that mean? Well, x is 20, that's the number of miles. Okay, so 20 miles that they when they tow the car. When they tow the car 20 miles, both, and this is a key thing to understanding a system, both companies, not just one of them, and it's not, when they tow the car 20 miles, the charge will be 150. Both companies, both of them, I have to clearly communicate, I understand both. Do you get that? Both companies charge $115. That's a cheap tow. I've towed my car lately. That's a cheap tow. Okay, that's it. Let's look at another equation system. Let's look at another section. Another section, let's do another section. Okay, a system simplifying exponential expressions. Yeah, I'm going to take the quiz. I get 30 minutes, yada, yada, yada. Hurry up. And there's that sign thing again, right? Okay, so this is, what is the value of 3k to the 0 where k does not equal 0? Well, 3k to the 0 over k to the negative 1. Well, the negative exponent, I actually look here. 3, it's going to be 3 something. 0 minus a negative 1. So k to the 0 minus a negative 1 gives me 1, right? So 3k. So 3k right there. Question 3. Choose values A and B such that the expression will be equivalent to x to the 4th. And I've got x to the b, x to the a, x to the 8. Well, if it's going to be x to the 4th, then you just know that if you take this number, the top minus the bottom number, so that a and the b is going to equal 4. So I don't know, what minus what? I'm going to go 76 minus 72. Yeah, I could go 8 minus 4, 12 minus 8, 20 minus 16. Doesn't matter as long as the top is 20 more than the bottom. A is 20 more than, or 4 more than B. Cool. Completely simplify that expression. Yikes. Okay, and type it in. Whoa, okay. So let's look at this. I've got 4. By the way, guys, very few of these are meant so that you can look at them and just see them. So I would have a lot. I mean, I've used like 7 or 8, 9 pages of scratch paper here. Okay, I would recommend having just scratch paper by the wazoo off to your side and just write down thoughts and figures and stuff like that. Y to the negative 2, z to the power of 8, all over negative 3, y to the negative 1, z to the power of 2. Okay, so I'm looking at the top. 4 times 6. I'm going to simplify this. 4 times 6 is 24. Y and y, 6 plus a negative 2 is 4. Z and z, negative 4 plus 8 is 4. And I've got on the bottom negative 3, y to the negative 1, z to the second. Okay, 24 over 3. I can do that in my head. That's 8. In fact, it's a negative 8. 4 minus a negative 1. Minus the negative makes it positive. So 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay, here 4 minus 2 is 2. So it's going to be z to the second. Oh, and that's it. So I would type it in. I mean, I could use the equation editor and do that way. Or I could just go, negative 8 y to the power of 5, z to the power of 2. Now, if there were things left in the bottom, I would put that whole thing in parentheses. So let's do this. Say I had an x on the bottom. I put the whole thing in parentheses, and then I just put like divided by x, something like that. And I chose x because there's no x's in there. Okay, cool. Oh, that's it. Cool. That's not bad. Oh, there's only 3 questions, 4 questions, or so. I don't know, something like that. Leave it. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's look at some other stuff. Come on, hurry up. Simple radical expressions. Let's look at some radicals. New paper. Okay, one question requires a file upload. So I need to be prepared to do a file upload, take a picture or something like that. Okay, there's the agreeing thingamabob. How many questions are here? 3 questions. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, rational exponents. So I've got the 5th root of x to the power of 2y. Well, I know that I take the base, which is x, and this is power, and that becomes the denominator. So I've got 2y over 5. That's it. Oh, cool. That's not bad. Find the values a, h, and k that will make this statement true. Whoa. Okay, so I'm looking here, and I've got this thing here, the cubed root of 24 x to the 8th y to the power of k. Okay, I get this thing. Now 24, this is a cubed root. 24 is the same as 2 times 12, which is the same as 2 times 6, which is the same as 2 times 3. So that 24, I'm going to be able to pull a 2 out, and left underneath will be a 3, right? Yeah. And this 8, 3 goes into 8 twice. So that tells me I'm going to pull out 2 x's, and there will be 2 left in between, right? 3 goes into 8 twice with a remainder of 2. Yeah. Now, oh, and I can work backwards here. Think of it here. If there's 1 y out here, and think about this, how many y's would it take to have 1 out and 1 in? Well, to get the 1 out, I would have to have a y, 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 y. There's the one that I could pull out, right? And there's the one left in. So this is y to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4. So in other words, A, I'm just going to copy this down here. A is equal to 8, right? Because that would be right. No, not 8, 3. 3. H is equal to, where's the H? The H is this on X on the outside, which is 2. And the K down below. Okay, where's the K? The K is this on the inside here, which I decided is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, because I want 1 pulled out, which takes 3 and 1 pulled in. So K is equal to 4. Cool. That's it. Holy smokes, find the value of A, B, and C. We'll make this true. Yuck. Well, let me look. 5x, I'm looking at the radicals for a second. Square root of 5x, square root of 3x, square root of 5x, square root of 5x, square root of 3x. Now, I like those because I can't break down 3's and 5's, and the x's I can't break down. So, and I look at this. This is just combining like terms. So I've got 5x here. So my answer should look like this. I'm going to copy this down, and I'll put it right here. So, and just so you know, this isn't going to be a computer matching. All of these things, when you first submit them, are going to be marked as not graded and that kind of thing. I have to go in and look at every one of these answers. So if you make if your answer's right, I'll be able to see it. If it's wrong, I'll be able to see it. So I'm looking square root of 5x. So I've got this one here, and that's not. So I've got that one there. I'm going to make myself some notes. 5x. I've got negative 8 for the first one. That's not 5x. That's 5x plus 6. And that's y 5x. That's not there. So negative 8 plus 6, that makes negative 2. Negative 2. I'm just type that. B. The B is in front. Where is the B? Oh, 3x here. So I've got 3x here. These combined to make negative 2. Okay. I've got B there, and then it's going to combine with that one, 2. And they have to add up to 6. So what plus 2 makes it 4? So B is 4. 4 of them. C, that's C, Y, 5x. C, I'm looking for Y, 5x. No. There it is. What? And that's the only one, isn't it? So that's 9. That's 9. That's not too bad. Okay, that's not bad. So some good thinking here, but these are a little bit different because we're taking it online, at home, that kind of thing. Okay, but that's one of the reasons you got 30, 35 minutes. Oh, that one you had 35 minutes. Polynomial operations. Let's take a look at that one. So take the quiz. I need to get myself some new paper. Polynomial operation. Yeah, it's going to be submitted. There's the signing statement. How many questions are in here? 4 questions worth 30 points. So there's 4 more questions on top of that. Okay. Okay. Given that this equals 1/2, which of the following is true? Whoa. So I'm looking at the difference. X squared minus x minus 12 equals 1/2. And what they've done here is they've flipped this. X plus a, x minus b. Well, that doesn't even make sense, because if I flipped that, I could say this equals 2/1, right? Yeah, I could do that. But I can't do this. Okay, here, what's happened here? The denominator is the same, but here, 2x squared. Oh, this got doubled. X squared to 2x squared, that's doubled. Negative, but that's just that doubled. So if this whole thing was doubled, so if it was like 2x squared minus 2x minus 24, then it would be 1, because if I multiply each side by 2. But so they've doubled just this coefficient here, and they doubled the right side. That's not true. What's happened here? Oh, check this out. Here what's happened is if I multiply this left side by the denominator, x plus a times x minus b, that would cancel. And if I multiply this right side by that denominator, x plus a times x minus b, the 1 would be multiplied by x plus a, x minus b, and the 2 would still be there. So they've multiplied each side by the denominator. That makes this true. So C is true. Now it says statements, so it could be 1. It could be more than 1. So I got to look at this one too. Whoa, what the heck's happened here? So I'm looking, this is still in the denominator, the 2 is still in this. But x plus a was here, and x minus b is up here. So the only way to get x minus b out of that denominator is to multiply over here and here. So if you multiply by x minus b over here on the left, it would cancel the x minus b. And over here it would have 1 times x minus b, which is exactly what they've got. X minus b over 2 equals x squared. So let me show you. X squared minus x minus 12 over x plus a times x minus b equals 1 over 2. So if you multiplied by x minus b over here and over here, that would cancel. And I just have 1 times x minus b over 2, that's what's right there on this left. If I was, now on the previous problem, they multiplied, on the previous right answer, they multiplied by x plus a on both sides. That canceled out all of that, and I had x squared minus x minus 12 equals that times 1, which is just that x minus b times x plus a all over 2. That's what this is. So I'm looking at this, and C is the right answer. That's correct. And D. So C and D. Okay? So C and D. Do I have to, your answer should include the letters of your choice you feel are correct. For instance, if you think, oh, I don't have to explain, I just have to put my answers. Okay, so C and D. Okay, for what values A will make this equation true? Okay, so I see multiplication here, right? So I've got 4x squared y cubed ax y to the negative 5. Oh, there we go. Y to the negative 5 minus 2xhy, minus 2xhy. Okay, so I'm looking 4 times a. Well, I know that from this it's going to give me 12, right? Well, let's do this. X squared times x, that's x cubed. And y cubed times y to the negative 5, that's y to the Remember, I add these, like 2 plus 1 makes 3. 3 plus -5 makes -2. So that's what I have right here. And I know 4 times A makes 12. So 4A, it's a 12. So A is 3 because 4 times 3 makes 12. Okay, cool. So that's, and I distribute that through. 4 times -2 makes -8. X squared times x to the h. Well, I know I'm going to add 2 plus h, 2 plus h. And I know from this right side, it's going to give me 4. Right? So 2 plus, 2. So h is 2. 2 plus 2 gives me 4. And then y cubed times y is y to the power of 4. And over here on the right, I have y to the k. So k is equal to 4. So my answer is just going to look like A equals 3, H equals 2, K equals 4. 3, 2, 4, not 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4. Okay, cool. Multiply these completely. Simplify it completely. Okay. So x minus 2y times x squared minus 2xy plus 4y squared. So x times x squared, that's x cubed. X times -2xy, that's -2, 1, 1, make 2x squared y. X times 4y squared, 1 times 4 makes 4. Xy squared, okay. -2yx squared, -2yx squared, right? Don't I have a 2yx squared? Yeah, right here. -2yx squared. And then -2y times -2xy. -2 times -2 makes 4. Y times y makes y squared and x. So that makes positive 4x y squared. And then -2y times that makes -8y, and y squared makes -8y cubed. Put them all together, and I have x cubed. -2 makes -4x squared y. And then 4 plus 4 makes 8. Xy squared minus 8y cubed. And if they were in a different order, that would be okay. And if, anyway, different order would be okay, but there would be the coefficients. Cool. And I just type that in. Okay. Complete this long division problem as shown below. When the dividend is this and the divisor, I can use either long division or tabular. Clearly identify the quotient and the remainder, if any. So, oh my goodness sake. Have they started it for me, maybe? Yeah, it looks like they have. Or that. Sheesh. I'm going to use tabular because I like tabular. I don't like long division. I've never liked it. So I start tabular division. And I've got x minus 3 here. And I've got x to the 4th here. X to the 4th divided by x is x cubed. X cubed times -3 is -3x cubed. And I look, I've got -11x cubed in the problem, so I need -8 to make -11. -8x cubed. -3 minus 8 makes -11. Check, that works. -8x cubed divided by x gives me -8x squared. -8x squared times -3 gives me positive 24x squared. And I've got 29x squared, so 24 plus 5 makes 29. So 24x squared plus 5x squared makes 29x squared. Good. 5x squared divided by x is giving me 5x. 5x times -3 makes -15x. Okay, I've got -15x in the problem. I've got -17. So -15 minus 2 makes -17. -15x minus 2x makes -17x. Check, that worked. -2 times divided by x gives me -2. -2 times -3 gives me positive 6. In the problem, I've got -1, so 6 minus 7 makes -1. So there's my remainder, x cubed minus 8x squared plus 5x minus 2 minus 7 all over x minus 3. That was the divisor. And there it is. Clearly identify the quotient and remainder, if any. So there's my quotient, there's the remainder. There it is. Okay, and that's it, guys. Okay, that's the whole practice test. Be careful, take your time. You don't need to zip through it like I did. I would have scratch paper sitting here. I mean, look how much scratch paper I just used. Granted, I only used pieces of all of it, but did that. Have your calculator sitting next by. This is open notes. So if you know you're going to have issues with a few things, you might make yourself some little cheat sheet notes to go with it. Have a good one.